Rip Comic Podcast on the Without Your Head Network. Go on Facebook, go online, look for Without Your Head Network, and become part of where it's at. You don't want to miss any of the shows. There's several shows out there, great content, great interviews, and of course, a great host. Nasty Neil is out there on the East Coast, and he's bringing you the best in horror, film, comedy, you name it. He's the guy. He's on the scene. He is getting everything out there to you, and you don't want to miss it. So definitely subscribe to the Without Your Head Network, and let's jump into first of the minute news here on the Rip Comic Podcast. Well, Rich, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me just get that set up for you. I have not prompted you to this, but we're going to go ahead and start with, I guess, one of the first ones of the news that is going out. I kind of hinted a little bit about it, but here it is. Marvel to reprint and replace offending copies of Immortal Hulk number 43. And I'm reading this from Bleeding Cool News, bleedingcool.com. You want to get your comic fix, your movies, music, whatever it is, check out some of their stuff. They're a great website, and I know I like to pick some of the news because they're on top of it. Rick Johnston goes ahead and reports here. Marvel Comics has informed comic book retailers that they are correcting and reprinting main and variant editions of Immortal Hulk number 43. So right now, Rich, I know in your mind what's happening with this book as we speak. This went on sale this week. And that they request to return copies in exchange for the corrected version, and that may be starting today. So let's go ahead and find out what exactly happened. And this is the offending panel right here. John Bennett had apologized for the panel that appeared in Immortal Hulk number 43, and it has been deemed or interpreted as being anti-Semitic slur. So we have a jewelry store. I'm reading this directly, and featured in the comic book, and it is named after David Cronenberg, the horror movie director, known for all kinds of movies. That in the Immortal Hulk they've embraced it in the run. Okay, anyway, but instead of the window reading jewelry, it reads jewelry. See that? And then there's a Star of David right there. And then you got in the foreground Joe Fixit / Bruce Banner, and he's talking to the store employee. So it's not necessarily the dialogue. It's actually the image behind there. Now, let me pose this question to you, Rich. Do you think it just happened to be a misspelling? Or do you think they took a joke maybe a little bit too far in this day and age? Because it's missing the L.
Well, you need to.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you need to. Well, in all honesty, is there a place called that? Is there one?
Oh, you mean named that way? Yeah. Is there grounds for it? Even though, I'm just going to pose this since you're the one on the show right now. Even though, let's just say, in this universe, Cronenberg's, named after David Cronenberg, the horror movie director, even though we end up seeing a place of this way, remember, this is all fiction, and they're being fantastical, and they're being all this kind of stuff. Do you still think you can get away with something, even though there was an actual place named that? Do you think there is room in the comic book world? You know what? I don't want to go into semantics of, is this racial and all that. Obviously, it can be insensitive. I don't know who brought it up, because Rich, the process of these books. There are a lot of eyes that go into looking at all these things. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the other thing you can look at. Maybe the editor didn't know how to spell jewelry and didn't catch that. Maybe because
it is a legit
jeweler, Jewelry.
Right.
So
maybe he just seen it just randomly. He just did not pick up that the L was possibly missing. But you know what I find strange though?
There's a gap.
Yes, exactly. That was the first thing I started thinking about.
Now, is it maybe they thought it was jewelry? Jewelry. I don't know. Maybe they thought the L was after the R.
The ly at the
Like I
end,
said,
like
yeah. Who's the editor on this book?
jewelry, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Who's the editor on this book?
yeah.
That
Who
is the
was
question.
the
Yeah. Who used to work at Marvel?
yeah, who used to work at Marvel, man? So what do you think is gonna happen to this book, bro? Is it gonna just be chalked up to the regular errors and faux pas that have ended up in through the history of various comic books?
I mean, that's
We like
in this day and age.
I'll give you another
That could be
example.
considered something major.
Yeah, yeah, no, that people get in this day and age, people can get fired easily for a slip up of this nature. I don't know what the ramifications of this, or if it's going to be a hand slap, or we're actually going to get somebody kicked off a book. This is a successful run, and it's a very high profile book. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what I find really hard to
You look at the
believe.
color of the bag. You look at the color of the bag she's holding. I mean, then you sit there and think, well, is it supposed to be Tiffany's? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they use that shade of blue. That's a Tiffany's color.
Right. I'm trying to examine to see if there's any reflections in the anywhere else, but I guess, somebody caught it. So, I don't know, it could be a misspell or whatever, but word is out. We will see the ramifications of this book. Obviously, I got a feeling you're correct. We've seen some of these errors pop up, and they were printing errors, and then the book disappears off the shelf, and then there it goes. The demand for the actual corrected. This is where I was asking, where does the corrected version, because they're asking for replacement. They want you to send it in and then they'll replace it. So what happens, there's the run go? I mean, if they printed, like, let's just say, I don't know what, 30,000, 40,000 of these books, are they going to actually print 30 more thousand of these books? You know what I'm saying? Which one becomes the harder to get issue, the corrected version or the error? We'll just kind of put a pin in that.
I mean, well, that's the thing. Who's going to actually turn the book back in?
Yep. Nobody does.
Are they just going to send them? Are they going to resend them all out anyway? And does that mean everybody's going to buy a second version of it? And
so now you got a 30,000 copy book. Now it's 60,000 copies of it are out there. Fledging of the numbers? Is this fledging of the numbers, dude? They're trying to make the book look more popular in statistics sense. To me, this rings of the Spawn infamous switcheroo, where everybody didn't order possibly cover 3, and then they became cover 1, and then it got flip flop with a Matina cover, and then we promised that we're gonna send you out more copies. Kind of switcheroo. I don't know, some funny business going on there, but we'll revisit this, and we'll kind of keep an eye on how this comic progresses in the charts of things. The other thing I wanted to get to you, and it is a character that we actually brought up, I think maybe a show or 2 ago. You ready for this? This is a big one.
Is it Beta Ray Bill going to Beta Ray Red? Beta Ray Fred or something?
They are changing the name of Black Adam. There's his name.
It's going to be Samoan Adam.
Shazadam. There you go, brother.
People are going to pronounce that Shazadam. Yeah, you're going to be a lot of kids getting in trouble at school for saying that name.
Yeah, no, it's Shazadam. I don't know what the heck. I knew eventually this was going to pop up. And I'm not going to go deeper than that. But you know what I'm saying? We even talked about it. And then the fact that, I didn't know how far they were going to get with this, and then now here it is.
Well, they turned it into something that it wasn't.
Yeah. Okay.
My take on it was always that it was the color of the uniform, the color of the outfit.
Right.
It had nothing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they turned it into something that it wasn't.
Yep. It's almost like, we can't,
And
never mind. I know where you're going with that, but that's what ends up happening. There's a double meaning, or there's something, and they have like the PC police. And okay, I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand where they're going with this. And I just, in the back of my head, I knew they were not going to go through with it, even though the character has always been known as Black Adam because of his uniform. It had nothing to do with anything other than a color of the uniform. But, you get something a little bit different, and, that's what ends up happening. So as of March, the character of Black Adam will be changing his name to Shazadam. And so I got a feeling, there's some other things that are going to come down the pipeline that are going to affect some of these character names or character origins or anything in general. And it's been like that. I mean, comic books have been around forever. So you know what I'm saying? It'd be interesting to see the fallout on that. I've always liked the Black Adam character. I love the oppositeness of, from him and Shazam and stuff like that. So I've been eager to see what they would transpire. And I thought The Rock was that build. He's got that superhero build. He doesn't need padding. He's already built like a superhero. So I was kind of anticipating to see what will happen with this character. So hopefully we get to see some more of that. And
they're gonna put him in a muscle suit still anyway.
to have super muscles. We're going to show it. It's kind of hard to see. It's kind of small, but this is what we're looking at. And what my brother did was he flipped the frame so that we can actually see the window in its proper perspective. Right off the bat, look at the C and the R in Cronenberg at the very corner. The C is so far apart. And then you got this little dip in the Berg part where it's BE. Like they knew where the bubbles, like maybe they were anticipating the beginning of that word bubble. You know what, dude? How about this?
Well, no.
What about this?
It's flipped. So he moved the C over to line up with the J because the J was the last letter he put in. Because it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but there's spacing.
Do you know what I mean?
What I was thinking was this, dude, because look at the BERG. That almost follows the line of the dip in the word balloon. You see that? Look at What if that little piece of tail from that first word balloon was supposed to go between the C and the R? And then hers was actually supposed to be between them or something of that. Maybe that wasn't supposed to be seen and the word balloon got put in the wrong spot. I know they draw them, but sometimes they are put in with computer. That's what I mean. We don't know. The artwork is there. Sometimes the word balloons are put in there. And I've seen in some cases where, like in the old days, they would actually cut out the word balloons and then put them on the art. I'm wondering if maybe that what was happening. Maybe there was supposed to be like some kind of comment in there or something. And maybe the word balloon was supposed to be between them or it was supposed to be lower. I have no idea. Maybe somebody wanted to make sure you saw Cronenberg's. Okay, you're ready for this? Let me go one more step farther, Rich, and it's something I'm just noticing in the what they spelled here. Now, I don't know if you can look it up on your end. How do you spell jewelry?
I told you there's supposed to be a JEWEL.
Look at this. Look what it says right here in the story. A jewelry with two L's? And an ERY? What is this?
Well, who was the editor of Bleeding Cool? Because apparently they used to be the editor of.
Yeah, well, see, there it is. A jewelry. I mean, they were determined to put all the letters in there to not get in trouble themselves. And it says featured in the comic book is named after David Cronenberg, the horror movie director known for the kind of body horror that the Immortal Hulk has embraced in its run. But instead, the window reads, but instead of the window reading jewelry, okay, why do they say jewelry here? But then up there, they have two L's in their jewelry.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
What is going on?
If you Google jewelry store.
Which one?
Jewelry store, JEWERY.
Yeah.
Store. Okay, the right half of your screen on a Google search, it'll show jewelry store with two L's. Now, if you look under
You know what?
that,
You know
the
what's in
first
corpus?
ad,
Did you see what's
the
in
first
corpus?
ad
Yeah.
is K Jewelry, 1L.
Okay, but no, check this out. On my screen, do you want to? Are you seeing what my screen right here says? Look, what does it say over here, bro?
Yeah,
In
that's why I'm
Corpus
saying.
Christi, in Corpus Christi. So they weren't wrong.
No, they weren't wrong. That's why I'm saying it depends on on if there's a real store like that, maybe that's what they were going by. They were putting that on there like that.
Oh my gosh. So they're getting in trouble for actually. You
For
got
something that's
several.
out there.
Right. You have 3 or 4 different ways that you could have put that. It's like the word donut. Now I'm going to go back to my donut thing again. It's like the word donut. You could spell it do nuts, donuts. There's like multiple spellings of the way people like to interpret the word donut or do nut so they're getting in trouble for actually spelling it a correct spelling of a jewelry store.
Yes.
And in that article, we actually had 3 ways that you could have spelled jewelry store. Mind you, everybody that's listening right now, it's all about we are have been in the we've been in newspapers. We have written for various publications and various things, and words have various different spellings, and they all are used in different things. Sometimes they're used for products, sometimes they're used for location identification, and sometimes they're used in different manners. And we're not trying to say that yes, we should do this, da 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 da. What we're analyzing here is this something that the creator of this publication did? Were they trying to be funny with it? And do you know what I mean? Do you think it's because they have the Star of David in there?
Was there malicious intent in doing it?
Right. But
what it comes down to.
Do you think if it was just that and it didn't have the Star of David, they would have been able to get away with it?
I think it drew attention with the Star of David. I
don't
honestly
even think
if the Star of David was missing, I don't think it would have drawn attention. I think it would have just been
when I look at that
glanced over.
But when I look at that Star of David, I'm wondering if it was modified to turn into the Star of David. It looks like it was going to be something else. Like, what is it going to be, a ring or something, or some kind of, because there's ornamentation on the bottom. You see that? Is it supposed to be something else and somebody turned it into a Star of David? Because there's a real thick bar and then everything are super thin lines of the symbol. Do you see that? So it's something, there's something off.
You don't think it's a Freemason symbol, do you?
I have no idea, dude. There was something that somebody was doing, and I think it went one step beyond, and I think that's where it got them.
But if the book was done on a computer and it's a digital drawing,
the lines would all be straight, bro.
They could have thinned out that line. They could have thinned out that line. They could have put the fake lines in there to,
correct it.
Or should I say the blue lines? They could have put the blue lines in to get the lettering correct, because the lettering is kind of spaced weird. The lower part of that E is not equal to the top part of the E. There's gap in there.
To me, it's
it's hand done. That's hand done.
Right. But the thing is, like, if this is the style, and then we look at other things that are like pictured in the city, and all the signs show spacing that is weird or offset letters, I mean, you can obviously tell that it's somebody that is, it gives that appearance that it's hand drawn. And if it is seen like, oh, there's the side of a building, oh, look, there's so-and-so deli, and then the words and the letters are spaced weird and all that, then that is something that he or whoever does that lettering or whatever the backgrounds.
Yeah, it's his style.
That's his style.
And then it's his style.
And the thing is that it explains the spacing or the weird stuff. But so the fact, well, that there's obviously a big space between that word in that word. But if it was just that word and then there were no spacing problems like in Cronenberg, there are some spacing issues that are going around with some of the letters. I don't know, man. This is a tough one. Overall, there is going to be an impact in the book. It would be weird to see if there's going to be a repercussion, because I mean, there have been artists that have done like some really weird stuff in their personal lives that end up getting kicked off of books. But I don't know if there's a history of this guy doing this. I mean, I think he's going to get burned for. I think it's going to
For
come
an
down
innocent
to yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, he was just kind of putting something, and I think he just took it one step farther. And then these guys are under deadlines and stuff like that. Not trying to excuse that if there was an intent. We don't know of that. We don't have any history of this guy doing that.
Well, who
But
is the artist?
man, dude, that's got some wicked covers
Because
on
I know
this
it wasn't
dude.
Alex Ross. Alex Ross does the, yeah, Alex Ross does covers along with a bunch of other people, but I know he didn't do the inside of the book.
Yeah, this one actually has some pretty heavy duty covers, bro. See, it had this cover. See, and this is the one that's gonna. It says art and cover by Joe Bennett. See, you got this one, big premiere issue, and this one's gonna be a pretty wicked cover to get a hold of. This is another one. This is the Alex Ross cover. That one looks pretty sweet too. I love that black and hot pink, or that Pepto Bismol pink, whatever that's going on there. That looks pretty sweet. And then of course you have the alien. It's all right.
I'm not feeling that one.
Yeah, it's the other ones that look pretty wicked. That one definitely, and of course I like the retroness of this one right here. I'm actually kind of curious to see what pages they actually previewed in this thing. Okay, look at that.
It was Joe Bennett.
Yeah, Joe Bennett. Now look at the sign. Look how straight that Starland sign is.
Yeah, and the star looks like a Dallas Stars.
Dallas Stars.
Star.
Look at the window right here. Look, that is perspective line all the way. Somebody's drawn with a line. There's some shenanigans going on with that store window. I'm telling you that right now. Just looking at this, right, you can see that those lines are meant to be crisp and going to a vanishing point and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking around. This is another page in the book. We're actually looking at some preview pages that were issued from the Immortal Hulk number 43 because we're trying to identify if there were any, if this is a stylistic thing that Joe Bennett does when it comes to sign. Wow, dude, it was in the preview pages and nobody caught it. We get these preview pages before, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't spot it there.
Well, here's the thing. It wasn't an issue then.
I know, but look at that.
Nobody complained. Nobody complained about it.
So now all of a sudden it becomes a book and now everybody complains. It's unfortunate that we didn't preview this before, because why do I feel that we would have caught this if we would have previewed this book? We always pick up on weird
we would
stuff.
have mentioned something about it.
Yeah. But okay, so now whose fault does it, because these are printed at least sometimes a month in advance.
Benedito Jose Nascimento, better known as Joe Bennett, is a Brazilian comic book artist.
He's been doing.
What's the common spelling for the jewelry stores in Brazil? Because like I said, if it's something he was just looking at, and a lot of these artists take pictures of cities and just walk around and take all kinds of pictures because they want things to look like they're real. They want them to look like it's a real city. They want them to,
Yeah, because I remember seeing that in the Marvel. They had that
thing, or
and they were talking about how they sometimes are out of touch, that they will look for photos and
of New York and of different places because they want Spider-Man to be in New York. They don't want him to be in some fictitious, city. They want, all their characters to be where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think he's getting persecuted for something that was not even intentional. in any form or fashion. Um, I think people are reading more into it than what it is, especially by looking it up on online and seeing how many stores spell it that way.
Wow, dude, they
I
spell
didn't
it.
even think that there
You,
was a
you,
spelling of it.
you ready? You ready for this? Jewelry for sale. Okay, I'm gonna pop it up real quick. They spell it completely different, and it makes me want to look at the word the way that they were putting it. Check this out right here. Look at this. Not this jewelry. That's the two L's. Check it out. That's the two L's that we saw in the other one. But look at that spelling. Look at where the L is at the very end. This is from Brazil. And look, jeweler, Jewerl. I got a feeling he was doing Portuguese or something like that.
What he knew.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
what
he
he
knew.
knew, what
What he
was in
knew.
his area, what
Right.
you know, and they're
Yeah.
I don't know, they're getting
Yeah.
after him for it, and
He unfortunately is gonna fall victim to well, let's just hope that it doesn't go that far. It'd be unfortunate because I mean he's the one that's been doing that book. Um, and you know they let me look real quick. See, we can't see behind her head, but it says Jewer. I bet you it's LS, bro. And it's supposed to be Jewerls, Jules. Because if it is Bros, Cronenberg Bros,
you know, there's a
Jewelers. So then it would be
yep,
RLS. Yeah.
yeah. So
But
like I
but
said, but who else is going to look up the fact that he's from Brazil? Who else is going to look up the fact that, you know, how do they normally have it in Brazil? How are they going to, you know, they're not going to care about that. It's printed in the US. They're going to jump all over it. And, you know,
yeah, but to me that the fact that the preview page was listed already there as the preview. You know what? These are also printed in previews. That would have been what 2 months in advance, bro.
so that means
Yeah, for 2 months, this crap is
previews was
yeah,
advertising it this way.
yeah. But nobody,
And
but
nobody said anything
nobody
then.
said anything then. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it wasn't a problem until somebody, one person probably complained and put together a group of people that were going to get mad. Man, that's
It's yeah. See, and it's funny because I started thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, there are preview pages that are actually printed of these books, and sure enough, lo and behold, right there, it was there. But no, we find out today. So this is like I said, it's a little bit smoke and mirrors. This is something that was released by the comic company. Is this a fake news, bro? Manufactured
what do you
to
mean? You think they're hyping it up to sell more
sell more
books?
books, bro?
Nah,
Come on,
nah.
dude. You have an error and a corrected. You're not gonna want both now. Spider-Man 55
I
has
mean,
an
it's only
error. Yeah, everybody's gonna go ape shit and go get that too, bro. Yeah.
yeah, but they need to bring back Sprite needs to bring back the LeBron James
Yes.
flavor. That was the best one.
Yep.
That tropical mix is just
Nope.
rancid.
Nope. It
You
does
know,
not taste the same. You know, when
it
we
tastes
had 7-Eleven,
gross.
the love-hate relationship in this town in 7-Eleven, it pops up, disappears, pops up. Right before they had closed down, they were doing well, no, I was gonna say they were
The
closing.
Coke.
They
It was
were
the Coke taste. You had chocolate Coke, you had cinnamon Coke, and now cinnamon Coke's out now, but they had all these different flavors, and you were supposed to pick the best one
right.
and let them know, and that's what we, and it ended up being vanilla Coke is what won out of all
Oh,
of it.
okay. Well, I know that
Um,
cinnamon comes
if
out
I'm not
seasonal.
mistaken, because they had orange, yeah, but they had orange Coke back then. They had the
Oh,
chocolate Coke
back then.
in the fountain, yeah, for trying it. You know, they had shoot it was, I mean, even in other countries, they run different flavors in different countries.
Right. Well, I know that in
So
Pepsi, I don't know if you saw this. Pepsi is actually going to come out with it's called Pepsi Cocoa. It's like hot cocoa with Pepsi in it, and it popped up. Um, a friend of mine.
I'm still waiting on for them to come out with the Laverne
Oh yeah,
Pepsi and milk. No, they need to bring back Pepsi free. And it has a marshmallow flavor too, or what? Is that a marshmallow at the bottom?
it's a marshmallow. Cocoa Cola. Whoa, wait a minute. Can they say Coca Cola?
Yeah, they're going to try to confuse people. I'll take a Coca Cola. What? Do you want Coca Cola by Pepsi
Cocoa.
Cola?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's they're trying it, bro. They're going all at it. These just
Well,
popped
isn't
up. Did you see these Coke slash coffees that just popped up? It's
yeah
Coke
the
coffee,
thin talk can?
Coke coffee,
Yeah,
and then have you tried one?
well, no, I don't even drink coffee. Here's my question: isn't the U.S. the only country that ices down their sodas? Is that a
Problem.
U.S. thing?
Well, it's like the beer. They cool down their beer, and I heard that in certain countries they don't cool their beer. It's from the tap, and they give you the
Yeah,
beer that way.
yeah.
We have to have ice, or we
What
have
do
to
they
have
call it?
cold beverages.
What do they call it? Pissworm chungle from
Yes.
El Mariachi, wasn't it?
Yeah, from El Mariachi.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk about Comic Book Wednesday and what is going to come out February 10th, 2021. These are what I pick as the hot picks for Comic Book Wednesday, February 10th. It's actually a weird kind of week. There wasn't like a whole lot of stuff that jumped out. So I'm gonna go through my list real quick. I won't and then I'll kind of go through the whole master list. But
Yeah, I only
this
saw three myself.
right. This is one of the ones that I thought. I don't know if this is one. And the reason
Yeah.
being is that Donny Cates is writing. It's Wolverine Black and White Blood #3. This is the third book in a 4-book series. I'm surprised. Or are they going to have a secret cover out there? But they're only offering one cover. And of all things, Donny Cates. Or maybe they just want to drive everybody into buying one book and not mess with variants and all that kind of stuff. But we do have Donny Cates. We have Jed McKay, John Ridley. They're all the writers that are working in this book. It says there's 2 artists, Chris Bachalo and Jesus Seance. I believe that's his name. But they've had some success, doing Cosmic Ghost Rider, Donny Cates and Chris there, it seems. And so then we have a little bit they've worked in some shape or form together. So if anything, I mean, it definitely has the Wolverine on the cover. You got the hand pointing down, bloods in the snow. I'm assuming that's snow, and then you've got the claws sticking out. Donny Cates has been gold. Anything that he's attached to just seems to be a hot book. If people are so fixated on his other imprints, they might not know that this is out there. So for Donny Cates fans, this is definitely a must pick up. If you're a Wolverine fan, it's already in your box and you're eagerly anticipating this third installment of Wolverine Black, White, and Blood. Have you been picking up these, or have you just nitpicking just depending on the cover?
No, I've got 1 and 2.
Okay.
I've got the one of the variant ones on #2.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. They had
So
yeah. So that's the one that we got going here. So that's Wolverine #3, Black, White, and Blood. That's definitely a must pick up this coming up Wednesday. Now I don't know. I missed this completely last time, but it's Recount #1, second printing. This is a chance for everybody to go ahead and pick up on this book that completely flew off the shelf. There were several different covers that you could acquire. Obviously, this is going to have a different connotation now that we are on the other side of the election. This was released prior from Scout Comics. Scout Comics released this, and it just flew off the shelves. Everybody was picking them up. The storyline, was provocative, and it had all the right elements that the political season, the topic and all this stuff. And I still think that it is strong. Scout Comics kind of waited a little bit for this thing. It's almost like been definitely over a month that the book first came out. And I think it's just going to be equally hot. I think a lot of people are going to have a hard time finding it. Sometimes their comic book stores don't pick up on this. If you can't find it at your store, go to scoutcomics.com or whatever their website is. I'm assuming that's the name of their website, but go to Scout Comics online, take a look. There might be some different variants of it, and you might be able to pick up on this. I think this is one that you definitely want to kind of put away. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those moments in time. You want to kind of Jonathan Hendricks, Gabriel Ibarra Nunez work together and put this particular intriguing story together. Recount #1, second printing from Scout Comics. Definitely, you guys want to pick that one up. All right, the next one that I have, and it's something that I've already had mentioned to you, it's this one. Look at it, very simple. It's from Image Comics. Ha ha. It says Prince Del Rey, issue #1, second printing. I love the simplicity of it. I love just the design. To me, it screams out small town circus, that book that we used to get from the circus, that real thick book from the Shriners that was loaded.
Daily.
Right. It is filled with that nostalgia for me. I was deathly afraid of clowns. Whenever they were in the mall in front of Luby's, I did not want to get near them. I did not want to associate with them. I did not want to talk to them. They freaked me out. But we had to get past them to go into Luby's so that we can eat in Luby's back in the day in the Padre Staples Mall in Corpus Christi, Texas. But for some reason, it is crying out to me, this cover. This cover has already, the first haha, everything's sold out. This is another book that's in its second printing that the demand is so great. I got a feeling this cover has already sold out. And all the regular places, your Midtowns, your Things from Another World and all that, you cannot order this copy anymore. You have to go even farther out into the boonies to look for this book. Worst case scenario, you're on eBay at the mercy of the eBay people. But of course, it's one of the creative sides of the what was it? The Ice Cream Man family. So this is it. We got clowns, sold out clowns, and more. So haha, #1. It's part 1 of 6. This is the second printing from Image Comics. It is going to fly off the shelf if it hasn't already. It's going to be, you got to get there early if you're going to even want to attempt to get one of these. Another book, this is in the superhero realm. I don't know if you've heard anything about this, but it's from Image, Radiant Black #1. When is the last time you've seen Image other than Spawn and some stuff from Robert Kirkman that you've seen like legit superhero dudes? Usually you find all these crazy stories and all that kind of stuff, but this is another superhero book. It's like it's like we're back in the 90s again when you had, Shadowhawk and Savage Dragon and Wildcats and all these cats, all, you know what I mean? We now have another superhero book.
They might have to change the name to Radiant Tron or Radiant Man or
yeah.
Yeah. With the way everything seems to be.
Oh yeah, Radiant other than that, because this might be the first and last time you see him as this character. So from Kyle Higgins, Marcello Costa, and Michael Choi does the cover. Radiant Black #1. There's going to be at least, I think there's like 3 or 4 variants, and then you also have some store variants are out there. There's a lot writing on this book for Image, and it's beefing up that superhero universe, and it is definitely coming fast. These are characters that are perfect to end up in like crossover if they want. You never know. Maybe, you know what if this is the dude that's going to be on the cover? Who knows? I don't know. We're gonna find out though. And of all the books that I'm picking as the top book, I'm picking this one. Stabbity Bunny, Richard Rivera, Dwayne Bendix from Scout Comics. This is another Scout comic book. It's the Origins edition. Um, I think this is a really cool. It's a Dark Origins reprint of the first two issues. They're all reprints, you know. That I think, but the way it's packaged is it's awesome. These are the first two issues of the original series in the Scout Prestige format. Read the stories that started it all. When 7-year-old Grace Lee is abducted, she finds an unexpected protector in the form of a plush bunny, or does she? The malevolent forces hunting the little girl's family move into the final phases of their ultimate plan to either eliminate or recruit the last surviving members of the Lee family. This is a 64-page magazine format and will also be include previously unpublished behind-the-scenes process pages, covers, and pinups. You know, from Scout Comics, Stabbity Bunny. It is a little bit more pricey on the price, but you know what? It is a great package of the first two issues and more. So there it is, Origins, Dark Origins edition from Scout Comics. Those are the 5 picks for this week of February 10th, 2021 on Comic Book Wednesday. But as far as comic books, I mean, did you see anything like this out of like, oh my God, it wasn't really anything that,
Nothing that you had to have.
Right. There wasn't
Nothing
anything I must have those things.
Yeah, Beta Ray Bill's not coming out yet, so.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the frog one, actually. I forgot what the hell that.
Apparently you know what? It was Beta Ray Bill on the cover of that other book. He had the same wings on his helmet like Thor. Could it have been Beta Ray Bill?
Well, because of the things are all.
Mm-hmm. They're kind of loose and wonky looking, so it could have been him.
He's the last of the Thor guys to survive.
Yep.
Interesting. That would be a huge surprise. Well, but then again, Roland kind of speculated that, well, we do remember what happened last time. And then, he said that the way that they had presented it was that even though he said he was Doctor Strange, he presented himself that, but I spell my name this way, but he was a Doctor Strange. So maybe that's what the whole fun and games is going to be. They're going to use these names, but then they're switcheroo type characters.
Well, yeah, because of licensing.
Right. They're basically
it's just like Godzilla.
Yeah,
it's just like God. But due to copyright infringements, we cannot say Godzilla.
They're like all these weird generic characters that look just like the characters. Instead of a lightning bolt, they got something else, and then slowly you'll have real characters that are kind of thrown in there, like the Madman and Paybacks and all this kind of stuff. But then you'll have
so kind of like the Power Ranger villains on the TV shows on Night Flight, before it was called Power Rangers.
Yeah, Dyna-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Called Dyna-Man. I don't know. I'm a small segment might remember those, but I remember when I saw those, and then I just remember the TV coming on, and I saw, what the hell is this? I go, this is Dyna-Man. That was the first words out of my mouth when I saw those guys. I'm like, what is this? And they said, oh, that's Power Rangers. I'm like, no, this is Dyna-Man. I go, you guys have to go see this thing. And it wasn't like you could just go down to the store and this is what it is, or go on the internet and find it. It was left to your word that was Dyna-Man and this is what it was. Or you had early days of internet back then. So some people knew, and you would talk on chats or bulletin boards and all that kind of stuff. But that's it. We did the show early because there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend, and it was going to be kind of hard for me to do a show. And even if I was to do a show, we weren't going to be able to really talk about anything. And I'm glad we actually had these two subjects that we could really get into, because I think it is very interesting how that this book is going to be, the ramifications. And then we saw what was happening with Shazam and Shazadam. I'm not going to get used to that, but it's very interesting, the state of affairs that's what's happening. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a backlash of, people countering. And I'm wondering if anybody did what we just did, find out that they were actually previewing this book way before all this happened. I mean, we'll find out. I mean, we'll see. This thing just got announced today. As it's steamrolling ahead, I'm pretty sure something else will come out at the end of the week. And I think, into the defense of these guys, hopefully, like I said, nothing happens to this artist and or the creators of this book. I just think there was maybe a language thing that was happening here. There is some fault to editors that maybe
Well,
should have caught this.
okay, is he the writer or is he the artist?
He's an artist, so maybe well, you got to go based
He's
on his script. So you got
yeah,
to.
he's going now. If they're doing it by the current Marvel method, because the original Marvel method, they draw the pictures and then they write the story to the pictures, right? I mean, you saw that whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
There's a different way that they put it
Dan
together.
Slott said Dan Slott's like one of the last ones that still do it the old-fashioned way,
Right.
as opposed to the way everybody else does it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I I think he's getting a bad rap. I think there a lot of finger pointing going on for stuff that you know is innocent enough, but somebody's looking at it wrong. Is basically what they're reading into it more than what it's there.
Right. Right.
And we've been the victim of that before on the editorial comic that we did.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. We can save that for another day, because actually I did want to talk about our homegrown comics, what we used to do. Um, because even Rich Roland had his own uh, foray into comics, and then he had his own little thing with his thing that he did when he was in school. And so we all had our little touch of the backlash that could end up happening, misinterpretations, one generation and then another generation coming in, and then confusion happening, and then what can happen when certain images are taken out of whatever. But it's all
no, I mean, you look at the pound sign, the number sign. Oh, now it's a hashtag.
yeah, yeah,
They use it for different things, different generations, different people see it different ways, and different countries portrayed things differently also. So him being from Brazil, I think he's getting a bad rap. I mean, he's a great artist, and I don't want to see nothing happen to him.
yeah. No, I mean, his run on Immortal Hulk, and I'm pretty sure there's several other books, but he's basically like the way Patrick Gleason has just flew off into a different universe working on the Spider-Man book. Stegman and Venom, they've achieved a different level with these books that they've been working on, and this is a book definitely that he has carved out his place in the realm of, I mean, because that's a real hot book. Along with the Alex Ross covers, and then all the artwork and the direction that they've been doing, it's been such a hot book since it's come out that definitely that's why I'm saying, man, how is it that something like that would slip and not get caught early, and then it's in promotional items and nobody says anything? I mean, they could have stopped that before it even hit, and then the promotional artwork would have been. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So is the preview book now going to be worth you know a bunch of money because
Because it was
it's
the
got
first
the
one.
panels? It's
The
got the panels in it that
the
they
panels,
got
yeah,
reprinted over.
the
And
reprinted panels. Oh my god, it's so funny how that ends up happening like that. I guess what we'll do is we'll see the fallout and how all that takes place. Um,
did you see the new WandaVision?
Oh, you mean the part 4?
No, the new one. 5.
No, is it out? What are you talking about? It's well, yeah.
It's
I guess
past
it's.
midnight. They don't. Is it
I'm
out?
assuming. I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm assuming it's
I've
out.
been
I
on the
mean,
show, so I haven't watched it,
right.
but
Yeah.
I just figured, the timing of
We're
when this
just
gets released, it'd be like, whoa, did you see
well
that?
from the
Did what?
previews.
What's the use of what's the use of the octagons? Why are they all the things have octagons on them? What's the story
Right.
behind that? Is it because of 8? Is it octopus and hydras have 8 tentacles? Is this
So everything.
gonna
Yeah.
lead into
Well,
that? Is it?
there's other levels that are happening in all the episodes. They have been crafted to include a double meaning or
Who's
extra meanings and all this kind of stuff for sure.
who's gonna be the surprise guest appearance on the season finale that's going to blow everybody's mind, because they said it's going to be up to the level of Luke coming out on Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Who's
everybody's
out? Is Iron Man coming back? Is Iron Man
well,
coming? Is Chris
Captain
Evans has
America
been signed on
to
as
do
Captain
something
America again?
to do
So is
something.
he going to come back? Yeah.
Some
Is he
people
going
were
to come
even
back on
saying
this?
it Toby Maguire, Toby
It's
Maguire,
Spider Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But why
Yeah.
would
He's
it be
going to deliver
Toby
pizzas
Maguire?
or something.
Yeah, why would it be Toby Maguire though?
Because they're going to be in, well, maybe that's when they get into the 90s, because they're coming into the 80s on this next episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're going to keep it period,
How many episodes are they supposed to
so
have? Do
I
we
don't know
know?
if they go by like the Mandalorian. Didn't the Mandalorian have only 8?
Yeah, and they're already talking about what the next series, like,
And
what is it, Wakanda or Black Panther
yeah,
Adventures or something. I don't know what it's called. I don't know, but no, I think it's cool. I think if you watch those 4 episodes, just I'll reiterate to everybody that what we have established, that if you watch those 4 episodes, they are so well done together. And then you end up doing the whole flip side. So you see it all done from one perspective, and then you end up with this other episode that you get to see, all of it from a different point of view. And honestly, when I see it from that point of view, Wanda is one scary character. She comes off as a
she
very scary character,
she
powerful,
she
scary
took
character.
on Thanos and did a lot of stuff to Thanos
Yeah,
herself.
right. So
You
yeah,
know,
so,
she
so
she went Sith mode. She fed off the anger and eyes turned red and everything. Just you know,
yeah. And then we had that little
kind of
quick
like
shot of what's his name, Vision, all deed out. I'm like Walking Dead style. Uh, you know, I mean,
it's her memory. Her memory's coming back, and once that comes back, she's gonna want payback somehow, some way.
right, right.
And they already chopped his head off. So how are they gonna get payback for Thanos is dead already? So
So, well, wait a minute. Now I'm beginning to go back to, um, yeah. Now I'm seeing how maybe you want to start to come out, because he would be the one
okay, it would,
to fix
but
or fix him up.
but okay, but here's the other thing. Um, the time frame that this happened, where in the whole universe does this, in the MCU universe, does this fall into place? Because it doesn't fall into place
Right.
after all
And
this
yeah,
other
yeah,
stuff per se.
right,
It's kind of Rogue One-esque, kind of in the middle of stuff, type deal.
right.
um, I I was texted a picture today of Tom Holland talking to the principal. I think it's the principal, and he has his war picture on his filing cabinet behind him, and he's one of the guys that Captain America goes in and saves
Right, 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 right. Yeah,
back
no,
in
I
the
remember. Yeah,
40s
I
or
remember that.
whatever,
Yeah, I
and
remember. Yeah,
and he's the principal with his army picture up on the on his on his
right.
filing cabinet. There's other characters all over the place. So it's a lot of threads woven
Yeah, and then
into
you
this
have
mix.
you have what's her name, Lewis or whatever her name is. She's tracking down all these characters, characters literally, and where they're from, and finding out, and that the next thing is to see if there's a pattern with these characters and where they're all coming from and how they all ended up there, and what's the true purpose of all of them. So definitely this episode, if anything, it could be a pivotal episode into the next direction, because now that we know what's been going on, the manipulation of the stream, she's actually rewinding and controlling time. If it doesn't, she re-edits, so she's able to rewind stuff. The problem is she can't rewind everything completely, so she's stuck in this, whatever she's stuck in, and can play around with that and manipulate everything there. But obviously she can't get to her ultimate goal, maybe, and that is totally bringing back Vision, because I mean, he was basically eliminated before anything even took place, right? See, she can't do that, because if she is to mess with
without
time,
bringing back
Thanos, right? And that is why it haunts her that she can't do that.
unless she can pull him out. Kind of like in Star Wars, how they can pull people out of time and put him into the in-between realm, and that's
Right.
how he saved Ahsoka.
So then we're playing that. Okay, well, how about this?
Are we
Let's play
going
with
into
the
the
theory. What
WandaVerse?
if Thanos does
Or,
come back, and then all hell's breaking loose, and that is when we have the multiverse, and all the Spider-Man are in conjunction with Doctor Strange, and everybody's trying to find Wanda and the Vision, and we need to set things right, kind of thing.
yeah, well, keep in mind you still got the Loki show that's going to be starting too.
Well, hey, he's another cat that's supposedly dead, but obviously there's another out of time character. We have all these out of time individuals. You know what? But he may have the tools to make that happen, what she wants, or she may be told that.
Well,
I don't know. It's
that's
gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I like the direction that it's going in. I really think that's really cool how they're
well.
doing
They
it.
say this is going to put the intro to the Spider-Man 3 movie, is what they're saying,
Oh, the way it ends. The way it ends.
and the Doctor Strange movie, because all that's going to deal with the multiverse
Yeah, and they
in
connect. I
all of that.
mean, from what I
So
heard, they do connect in some shape or form. Well, then it would make sense that all of a sudden you go, "Hey, I'm Peter Parker," and whatever, and then you know what I mean. You have that element of a Spider-Man out of time. Because remember, to me, honestly, he was the one that was the most sciency out of so far the Spider-Mans that we've seen. Was Andrew Garfield very
well,
sciency in his thing?
i he was, but
Didn't
they
explore
let
that much, right?
Gwen Stacy
Be
they
the
let Gwen Stacy have the
spotlight on that. And
smarter
Tom
stuff. Yeah, because
Holland,
she had the job already.
and Tom Holland,
Tom
they
Holland's
just a regular
supposed to be a
cat, right?
genius.
He's just a
He's
smart
supposed to
guy,
be a genius.
right?
Yeah, he's a smart kid.
He's just a smart
Iron Man
guy,
saved
right?
him when he was a kid wearing his helmet.
Right,
You
right.
know, wearing the Iron Man
But
helmet.
but
Yeah,
but
that
he
was him.
hasn't shown anything else
Um,
other than that, technically,
nah,
because because
other
he was
than
given a suit. He was given
well,
a
and
suit.
yeah,
So what else has he done? That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen all this like, ooh, look, I came up with all these things and this, that, and the other.
what he said that he came out with the new webbing, and then um,
He
Tony
incorporated it
Stark
into, yeah,
incorporated it into the suit,
right.
and so
Okay, so he's got chemistry. I don't know, dude. I've always thought Toby Maguire had what they showed him more in that, you know, like the traditional Stan Lee kind of, hey, I'm working with beakers and stuff like that. Yeah,
oh, you said Beaker
beaker. Yeah,
and Bunsen and Honeydew, and
yeah.
yeah.
But it should be good. I mean,
So
I'm all in. I'm excited, and hopefully we get another spectacular kind of thing. I think there's a lot of hype that's going to, they're hyping it up that it's going to be on the level of Luke. I'm going to tell you this.
Vision said this. The actor, he said, "I've always wanted to work with this actor." I've always, and so he hadn't worked with him per se yet, but he's always wanted to work with him.
Oh shit.
So yeah. So who is it? Who can it be?
Anthony Hopkins.
You know, are they
Odin's brought
bringing
back.
Thor's dad back? You know, well, I mean,
Hey,
who
hey.
hasn't he worked with? You know, they've already said that the Thor movie's bringing what's his name back. What's Ben Affleck's little buddy?
Matt Damon.
Yeah, he's coming back in Thor.
Huh. Okay.
Who did he play before?
I don't know.
Didn't he play Loki? And during the whole play, when Loki's sitting there acting
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Odin
yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah, yeah.
reenacting,
You're right. You're right. You're right.
he
You're right. You're
he
right.
was in there.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
they're bringing him back, but I don't know what they're bringing him back as. They might be bringing him back as another play or another character or something.
He's another
But
actor
they're
playing
bringing him
another
back.
version of a character.
Yeah, so he's coming back though.
You know what? Maybe this is where we see Gore. Maybe it's Christian Bale as Gore.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Al. Al
No,
was
no,
coming
no,
back.
no, 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 no. Because he's supposed to come out in the Thor, but no, this doesn't connect to Thor, or we don't know what it's connecting to. It's just connecting all over the
No, they
place.
all connect. It's all the
Yeah,
MCU,
yeah,
so it
yeah.
all connects. Well,
Maybe it's
and what's
Christian
her name?
Bale. Maybe it's Christian
What's
Bale.
her
I don't.
name came out in Thor? What's her
Yeah,
name came out in Thor?
everybody.
So
Well, the thing
yeah,
is,
two
this is
broke girls
the God of Thunder, or the God Butcher. That's his
in
name.
rock and roll. Whoa.
Gore is being played by Christian Bale, and he's going to be the God Butcher that ends up in the new Thor movie. He's supposed to be the villain. So it would make sense if we start getting sneak peeks of, you know, that per se.
Or
Maybe no.
maybe one of the Sinister Six guys. One of the Sinister Six guys. Maybe he gets to, I don't know, Michael Keaton.
Deadpool.
Well,
He's a
they
time
toyed with
dude. He's a time guy.
they you ready for this? They toyed with the idea of Professor X.
Oh, we finally get a
Even
little.
though,
Well, but that would make sense because she's always been part of that.
well,
Magneto.
that's the thing.
Magneto.
Her dad,
Her
that's
dad, Magneto.
comes back or
Ian.
comes out in it.
Wait, which version?
Yeah,
Fassbender or Ian?
old? No,
It has to be
Ian.
old guy.
Yes, because they even said, what's his
And
name?
the son.
Jean-Luc Picard said he wouldn't.
He won't come out.
Do that because he finished off in Logan.
Right.
They finished off Professor X in
he's
Logan.
done.
But if he comes back, then they also said, well, what if it's Hugh Jackman?
Oh.
As the
right. Well,
yeah, it could be the three of them. Like Days of Future Past, that has ramifications as well. That they can still bring people back.
We
and
finally get our little snapshot of X-Men in the MCU. Because it would make sense because that's the only thing that bothered me when they showed Quicksilver and all that. And it's like, how do you mention these people without saying who his father is? You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, even though that you've seen these characters already in X-Men films, you had Quicksilver and then they kind of showed, but the ages were all off. They had the little girl and then Quicksilver was like an adult. They're supposed to be twins. And then they legit start them off here together. Pietro and her, and then of course he passes, but then there's no mention of the father and this, that, and the other, and he's like one of the most powerful X-Men or mutants. So that would kind of make sense that, or maybe they both come out. Maybe the brother, and maybe she's there, and everybody's like whatever, and then all of a sudden you hear Wanda, and then holy shit, it's the fucking dad.
It's the storyline's there.
Yeah.
And then, then you get the possibility of his other kids.
Right.
Because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. And that would be,
fathered.
you know what? That would be the thing that would bring all of them. And when they start getting powerful, because she's looking for that connection to family. And if she was to get reconnected with a family member, which she's trying to create with the babies and Vision and all that, he could probably bring Vision to some extent, to some whatever. I know he's not going to be the
They'll go
same.
plant. They'll go put him in the tree.
Or wait, no, I was going to say
And
Apocalypse.
in the island, they go put him in the island and bring him back. But he's not a mutant. He's a
Right.
computer.
Right. Yeah, he's a
So how
computer.
can he be dead?
Right.
How can he be dead?
It's just
It's just a matter of
it's the stone, right?
reprogramming him.
Yeah. Hmm.
They destroyed all the stones.
I hope
didn't they?
everybody's intrigued when you eventually listen to this show. This is usually the after part of the show where we kind of just ponder things. But I got a feeling I'm going to cut out some of the comic book talk that we had a little bit in relation to some of these other books, and then we're going to probably definitely have this part in there. This is definitely something as the episodes get closer and closer, we need to start looking for that direct tie, because I think when you get to this particular part 5, if they go 10 episodes or if they go 8 episodes, we're actually on that hump. And I think that was a perfect reveal episode. And I think right now we're going to go to the downward. They're going to start wrapping as they're getting closer. And if we are at that pivotal spot, we got 5, 6, 7, 8. We got about maybe four more episodes or something like that.
If it was comic books, this would be issue 6.
Yeah, definitely. Issue 6 is the big one right here. We are going to be in the we are definitely in the it's people that are we are definitely in the thick of it. We see a lot of sword whatever. We see a lot of what's happening with them, but we haven't really seen on the other side. There have been hints that people are saying Mephisto and all this kind of stuff, that there's hidden emblems and all kinds of stuff that lead to this demonic character, that supposedly this is where she's at or being tormented, and everybody's trying to figure this part out. But I don't know I mean, if it goes that route, I don't know. It kind of plays up on some of the old Disney stuff when it has like a very evil looking type character and stuff like that. But of course, this is Marvel, and so it's definitely playing in line with some of the stuff that they have established. But it would be great to see if there was a tie in to the X-Men part of the universe, because we have yet to see any of that. We have not seen a single connection to that X universe other than that these characters are related, or this character is actually related to a Marvel X-Men character, and has been used
Well,
in this.
remember, Hugh Jackman had said he would be willing to reprise his role as Wolverine, and he said this a while back, if he was a member of the Avengers. If he came back as a member of the Avengers, he'd be willing to reprise his role as Wolverine.
Well,
and he said that after Logan. After the Logan movie,
after he said
would be
that
willing
was
to come back.
Right.
Yeah, but he said he would come back if he was a member of the Avengers.
Well, we'll see how that plays out.
Well, I mean, it happened in the comics when they all had matching uniforms and they all had,
Yeah, the good old days. Everybody wearing those same kind of team costumes and everything like that. Episodes might be available right now. I don't know if they release it like 9 o'clock in the morning. I could be wrong. They might actually have it. It's for Friday, but I think they release them like at 9 or 10. I don't know if they're not. Are they a midnight release? I'm not sure.
Well, if they do, it'd probably be 2 o'clock in the morning because of West Coast
time. You know what? I'm going to pop on the screen anyway, just to find out if it does pop up. If not, it's probably be sometime tomorrow. And I got work tomorrow, so it won't be till after.
I got the app on my phone. I got the app on my phone.
Yeah. Well, I won't be able to see all the little details of whatever's on this. This next episode is supposed to take place in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be more of a family ties, growing pains vibe. Is that what they're saying, or what is it?
I'm not 100% sure. It's either that or Facts of Life.
Right. Well, you know what? That would be something. I like the way that they blend it in, where it's all Brady Bunch or it's all this. You can see little, like the last one was a little mix of the Partridge Family and you did see some Brady Bunch, and then you did see, a little bit of, there was another show kind of thrown in there as well.
Yeah, I want to say the Brady Bunch had the staircase. That's
Yeah.
what they used from that.
Yeah. And then the music had that, it had that harpsichord, and it was kind of definitely Partridge Family vibe and stuff like that. But I really dug it. I like where they're doing this. But do you see this playing like 2 seasons or something like that, or is this just a show that they make it to like relaunch the next phases of the universe? Do you see this playing like a season 2?
It could. I mean, if it gets further into Sword, or if it gets further into what happens
They
with
use
her.
this.
I mean,
They use this as a bridge kind of show where they mix the
it's
arcs.
either that, or it's going to be the show to explain how Vision comes back, or why he doesn't come back, or
right, or what kind of,
or
maybe it's a new
or
Vision.
why she turned into a villain, or why she turns into a villain, or why
what that could be something too. This, the show could be why she ends up becoming because she was it was a confusion, and she was manipulated and was being used as an evil person, and then it goes this way, and it would explain why she would go evil if she's part of her family again. It's almost like it's always been in her, but it's kind of heartbreaking because a lot of people really like her character and they're falling in love with it. But then again, those kind of tragedies make these kind of love-hate relationships with characters that
well, they had a meme when she said, "I'm a twin," and they said, "No, you're not Mary Kate or Ashley. What are you talking about?"
Yeah,
she's the other Olsen.
Yeah, she's the other Olsen. Very interesting.
The only one still working.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The other ones,
I think they're doing fashion and they're doing other stuff, and they're staying out of the limelight. But I think she was able to step out of her sister's shadow, unless the 80s one is Full House.
Oh, dude, I didn't think about that with the twins, dude.
Yeah,
because they're going to be older.
Excellent.
They're going to be. They're not going to be babies still, right? They're probably going to be a little bit. I don't know. I guess we're going to find out if they're 2 little kids running around.
Huh. Cut it out,
dude. Dude, that would be something. It's almost like the family sitcom. Now it would become the family. That's why I was saying growing pains and all that. But now that you bring that up, it could be whatever happened to whatever. Yep. That would be something if they actually had that dude come out and sing the song, dude.
That song would work too. Whatever happened to predictability? Yeah. The milkman, the postman, and even TV. It ties in with what they're doing. It ties in with
it. Wow, that would be something. Yeah. Now I can't wait. It should be exciting. I guess a lot of everybody out there should be.
That would be a very Deadpool moment, though. Like when they played Yentl.
Oh gosh.
And Cable. Yeah. Father, can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
And it's his stepmom singing on the TV.
Let's see where we're at. No, it's gonna be good. The show's getting better. I can't wait. It's become one of these things where you can't wait for it to happen and stuff like that. All righty,
30-minute show. Good
great
30-minute show.
Great, quick 30-minute show. But actually, lots of pondering, lots of investigation. This was like a Columbo episode, all wrapped up with a riddle, and then more riddles, and then more riddles, and
one more thing.
And one more thing. Yeah, and one more thing. That's the episode.
Kathleen Kennedy. Well, we didn't even mention it, so there it is. She got mentioned.
She got mentioned. One more thing. But no, in that should be it. I'm gonna say everybody, let us know what you think. Send us a message. Like the page. Rip Comic Podcast is the page. We are part of the Without Your Head Network. Go to their site. Go to their Facebook. Like it. Share it. Subscribe to it. Catch all the past episodes. Go on to YouTube. Look for us. Look for them. And it's all fun and fun and games. We thank you guys for listening. Until next time, keep listening to the Rip Comic Podcast, and we'll catch you next time.